going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, I went live a little earlier today, and now my entire clock's messed up. It is Thursday. One day left of the week. Hopefully, you guys are all having a great week. Tomorrow's Friday. Then we got the weekend. All right. We got some court. We got some court in Kentucky. Now, I don't usually watch a lot of this court. It's a really slow-moving court. You'll see it. This is the most drama in this court that I've seen in months. I also will say, this isn't my favorite judge. So another reason why I don't watch. He sometimes makes some comments that I don't really appreciate. So, yeah, but he's doing his job today. No complaints about the judge today. Anyways, before I hit that play button, you already know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go to Kentucky.
Jacob Newberry.
While Mr. Newberry's walking up, thank you to Lucy
Cromwell
for telling
versus
me.
Jacob Newberry.
Thank you to Lucy for telling me that there were actual good ones in this court today. We both watched this court, and she lets me know when something good's going on in this one. So thank you, Lucy.
Newberry, 22 CR 0069. Are you Jacob Newberry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you born in 1980?
Yes, Your Honor.
Last four digits.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this a felony plea or diversion?
Judges and neither. I guess we're gonna need a trial date.
I thought it had on here motion to enter a guilty plea.
That was correct, Judge.
As they say, it's fallen through. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what kind of case is this?
Possession.
Okay.
Thank you, Laura. Welcome to the family. I appreciate it. There is some downtime in this video, so hopefully I won't have to pause and I can just talk while there's downtime. Hi, Damie.
And Judge, if I may, while you're looking at your calendar, just as a point of order, if this trial is set post June 18th, it would be a case that the Department of Public Advocacy would inherit. If it's before June 18th, I would grandfather to that case.
Okay.
I know when we were here at last Riddle Day, and I can check my availability again. I know with Mr. Simpson, we had set his trial for June 18th, but I don't think my availability is any better. But I don't care to check, and obviously with the Commonwealth and the court.
But we just set one. We just set the Hagan case for the 18th. Seconds ago, when you said Simpson deceased.
Correct.
I just set one on the 18th.
I was going to say, Judge, if you're looking at any date past that, that would be the Department of Public Advocacy.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I plan on it.
well, so Mr. Bell, you might be picking up a new client too.
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna try to meet you to overtake this case.
Well, why don't you step out and talk to him and then come back in?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna have, unless you got money to pay me.
That's what he's gonna talk to you about, okay?
I mean, I ain't gonna.
I mean, I can't make him write a check. You get back there and see if he got any money. If he doesn't, we'll proceed, okay? You help me, I can count it out on the table for you or whatever you want me to here. I don't know. Okay, Commonwealth versus Robles. Is there someone else who?
All right, I was starting to get nervous that I cut out the wrong part. Yeah, there's four short parts to this, so we're gonna go in and out on a couple different parts. This this hearing lasted about, well, from start to finish, it was about 2 hours. So, and they're all about 5-minute clips.
Who was it you were talking about? Mr. Bell, who was it that tried to talk to you?
Newberry.
Yeah, I must have,
That was the inquiry about the new client.
yeah, I know, but I must have marked him off here. There he is. No, Jacob Newberry. Jacob Newberry, okay. And he's yours if it's before the 18th, right? Is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
No, that's not what happened. He has a public defender, and his public defender, the guy standing next to him, got a new job. So he's moving offices. I didn't watch it close enough to know where he's going to, but so he's trying to resolve all of his cases and be able to have no conflicts when he moves over to his other job. So what that was, the public defender was letting him meet with a private attorney. And yeah, I mean, if the public defender is leaving and he's already been assigned a public defender, then the court will just appoint another one. So that really didn't make too much sense to me, but that's what just happened. It doesn't really it doesn't go down till the part 4 of this. I think it's part 4, maybe it's part 3. It goes down. It definitely goes down. Most of this guy's childish behavior in court actually happens behind the scenes. We just hear about what happens.
What about Friday, April 26th?
We need the lab examiner and they're booked all the way through April.
You have dates for them in May?
In May, yeah, let's look.
May 17th, are they available on May 17th?
Yes, the 17th.
Miss,
We can have the lab with me.
not sure what it is, but I have Jesse off that day.
Oh, okay.
Well, he doesn't have to be here.
I just didn't know who was trying.
And Judge, I have trial 15th and 16th.
How about the 20th? See, the problem we have is we have trials in Monroe County the next week. The 14th and 15th, we have Cumberland County trials. We could do May the 13th. You have lab people available Monday the 13th.
We don't have the test, Your Honor. Do we?
On Newberry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said we didn't have the result.
That was on the other case.
Okay, sorry.
Never mind.
The 13th is fine.
May the 13th.
1 second, Judge. Actually been in the back speaking
Hey, Hawaii. I think you're the first person from Hawaii on the channel. Welcome. Welcome.
with Mr. Newberry. He has had a change of heart, and wish to accept the Commonwealth's diversion offer if that is still available.
Well, he hasn't put us in any trouble at all. Yes, it's available, Joe.
Okay, bring him back out. Now, is he the one that's causing the problems back here? Okay, come over here and tell me what happened back there.
Heard the fun of it, but
You all wanna come up here? It doesn't,
he said he didn't feel that you had the right to do what you done. And I explained to him that you could get him a lot more days than what you did. And then around the way.
y'all still wanna proceed with it?
No, we do not.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll just, schedule it for a trial then. When are you'll be available when?
Well, Judge, I think
Sorry, Logan.
yeah, we just took the 7th would have been my availability, but that was
know
about
I'm
it,
already
Judge.
back in. You want back in the case?
Judge, I didn't intend on coming back to Tompkinsville. No offense to Mr. Newberry, but I didn't plan on grandfathering any cases.
Let's see here.
But at the same time, and Judge, I don't know what the court's position is gonna be with regards to bond or
He's
remanding.
going to jail. He's going to jail. Okay. Now you can talk to him to see if he wants to enter a felony plea. I'll give you time to come back. What's y'all's position as far as what he's gonna do here? You withdrew the pretrial diversion.
Judge, if we can dispose of it with what we proposed, which I thought was extremely lenient. But yeah,
I agree, Judge, and as a point of order, not to step on, even if we did a trial with Mr. Newberry's record, he would fit under the presumption where diversion would be the first avenue that the court or jury would consider. So,
Well, my only problem with him is I think he's been kind of jerking us around here. That's my problem. He doesn't like me. He thinks I mistreated him. And, you won't find very many people that say that I've mistreated him. I try to treat everybody with respect that comes up here. But, the problem I have is people come up, say they're going to enter a plea, they don't enter a plea. That's fine. Then they fire their lawyer when I try to set a trial date, and then they come back and they cause a big disturbance back in here and that sort of thing. I just think that you got an attitude problem. Now, I don't know you. I don't have anything against you. So we'll just let the Commonwealth meet just a second. You want to talk to him, take him out and talk to him again?
I will.
thank you.
Back to order here. Do y'all have any report as far as?
All right, like I said, this is kind of a slow one. All the drama happens behind the scenes, but they took him into custody and he was causing a ruckus. Apparently he was bad mouthing the judge. They bring him back out. So that's what's going on. So we don't get to see all the drama, but we get to see the aftermath of the drama, which happens right now.
Drug test is concerned.
We didn't give him the drug test. He made it the admission, Judge. He'd like to tell you about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would fail the drug test, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I'll hold you in contempt for violating your bond and sentence you come back here on May 16th and I'll consider the pretrial diversion then. Okay.
And Judge, if I may, I discussed with the Commonwealth and know the 16th, they were amenable to considering trying to do this in Cumberland next week, the court be inclined.
I think, now, and we can pass it till May.
What is next month? The next trial, we have May 16th here. We're next Thursday over in Cumberland County.
Correct, Judge.
I'm gonna give it a break. I'll do it next Thursday.
Thank you,
Everybody won't
Judge.
have to stay to the 16th. If you want a break?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. We'll take the pretrial diversion plea over there and you can get him under supervision of the people in Tennessee and get him back down there, keep him out of Kentucky.
I think he lives in
Glasgow, Judge.
Yes, sure.
Oh, I thought you lived in Tennessee. I'm sorry.
No, not anymore. Your Honor, I apologize.
Well,
Just my.
listen,
I'm
man,
sorry.
you had a bad day. I hadn't had the best day. They always call it a bad conversion when two people have a bad day. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
And with Johnny Bell there, I was supposed to go talk to him at his office. We just
Yeah.
couldn't come to nothing today. He said he's got the murder trial and he's got something else.
Yeah.
And when he's asked for, me to get private, I mean, that's all I was trying to do there.
Okay, we're all right. We'll see you over there Thursday, and hopefully you can walk out of there and be on your way rejoicing, okay? See you. Okay, that concludes the work of the Monroe Circuit.
All right, that guy. Yeah, that guy. I wish we got to hear more of what he did. He kind of started acting like a child right there at the end. We didn't get to see all the fun stuff. But we're staying in that court. We got one more from that court. All right, let me go through these real quick. Laura, I know I already said thank you, but I wasn't paused. I was trying to talk over the video, so I'll give you a proper thank you. Thank you, Laura, for becoming a new member. Kathy Berry with the 5 gifts of subs. Thank you so much. Welcome to all the new members. Also, Kathy Berry, member for 3 months. Kathy, you're awesome. Thank you. And Beverly Bradford, a member for 4 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Kayla, yeah, you're super chatting while I'm already paused. But thank you so much, Kayla. I appreciate it. All right, same court. Now we have this is more of attorneys yelling at each other, and it's kind of fun.
Commonwealth versus Gary Hall.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, Mr. Bell.
I believe that's on my, here initially on my motion and I'll do that.
Well, let the defendant get up here first.
All right.
You're Gary Hall,
Sure, Honor.
born in 1978.
Yes, Your Honor.
Last 4 digits, 6975. Okay, if y'all move to your left here, Mr. Hunley.
Your Honor, this is scheduled for trial next week.
Thank you, Legal Fiction. Yes, I will pause for Kayla, but thank you. I appreciate both of you.
And I have filed a motion on the 10th of this month. Mr. Hall is charged in the indictment with a series of events that occurred on the same day.
You're severing the gun charge.
And I have asked that the gun charge be severed and I've elected to try it first.
So you're gonna try the gun charge next week?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
We object.
Well, the gun, come over here. The gun charge has to be severed. You cannot try the gun charge at the same time with the others.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you, Jay from Michigan. Hey, Jay. Yes. So I will pause for Legal Fiction. Thank you, Jay, for pausing for Legal Fiction. Who paused for Kayla? I guess I'm the one who paused, but you guys know what I'm saying. We're getting a domino effect. I appreciate it, though. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Legal Fiction, and thank you, Kayla.
But our position is that due to our defense of this case, and I believe the Commonwealth realizes that, to sever the gun charge and try it first is going to prevent us from having defense against the assault first charges, because I believe they're so closely connected. It's going to be.
I'm lost here. Okay, the fact that the person is justified in using deadly force in self-defense is not affected by whether or not the gun was illegal or not. You know, I will not allow that to be introduced at a trial on those other issues.
Is Fred here? I don't think I haven't seen Fred. Did I miss him in the chat? I don't know. But yeah, we can pause for Fred. And pause just because. You know what? Fletcher Boy, I appreciate it. Kayla, thank you. Pause train. I like it. You guys are all awesome.
We're not talking self-defense, Your Honor. We're talking about whether he had the gun at all or whether he shot the gun at all. That's the question here. It's not a self-defense.
Oh, well, I would assume that it was. I guess I had it wrong or something. You say he wasn't there and he didn't do it.
Well, I'm just saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying he wasn't there, but we're saying he didn't do it.
Okay, well, what difference does it make which one of the charges you try first? You kind of lost me.
Well, in defense of the assault in the first,
If
It would
if
seem to me
didn't
that's
do
gonna
it-
give them two bites at that apple instead of one.
Well, you can't try both of them. You realize they have to be severed. Because it
that.
would be highly prejudicial to introduce in front of the jury that he is a convicted felon
Yes, sir.
and that. So, I mean, if they're severed, the Commonwealth has an opportunity to choose which one they proceed with, it appears to me.
Well, you're the one that matters, Judge, so if you say seven.
You
we'll
matter
sever.
to me too, Mr. Bell. I want you to know that you matter to me, you know.
But, we'll be here Tuesday, ready to go with,
Okay, well, the gun charge will be there and on the other charge, you can't change your mind. It's the gun charge or nothing next week, and then we'll have to reschedule the other one at some juncture,
I
okay?
understand you.
Okay,
Judge, there was also a 404B motion filed. I got some of the information late Tuesday evening. I'm assuming due to the trial of the gun charge, not the other charges, that motion is in abeyance until we get to the other side of it.
Your Honor, the 404B, I filed the 404B as a cautionary matter, that I didn't want to hit that issue on the day of the trial.
what was the issue?
Motion on the 404B, there will be evidence in it that will show exactly where Mr. Hall acquired the gun that night and exactly what he did with it that night. And otherwise, I don't have that proof. I can go into detail if you wish on it.
I'd like to sidebar on that, Judge, because if they've got that information, they've not provided it to us.
That information has been certainly provided to the defendant and to his attorneys in the form of a recorded telephone conversation. And it was the basis for the assault first charge to begin with. Certainly, I wouldn't
Well,
be.
now you know where to look for that anyway.
Well, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think that recorded statement says what he says it said, but I mean, so be it, but.
Well, that's the only information that he's asking to be identified as 404B, so he can't bring any other things up.
Well, he sent us a whole list of things Tuesday evening that he wanted to bring up, and if we're gonna try just the possession of the gun charge, that's all I wanna try. I don't wanna allow him right now. I respect Mr. Conley, and I think a lot of him, but I've had trials with him before. And,
I have too.
you know, I know to be cautious to say the least as far as what he's wanting to bring in.
You're not saying he put his thumb on the scale, are you?
Well, I mean, I'm saying he would, but I'm not saying I would. So, you know, I'm not saying anything about him I wouldn't say about myself, but I'm just saying that I'm trying to, if we're going to try the gun charge, that's fine, but that is a very singular, easy charge.
Well, let's just put it like this. You can give notice to the 404B. That doesn't mean that it'll be admissible when we get to the trial. You understand what I'm saying?
This is Kentucky, the Commonwealth state of Kentucky. And I don't know if this is true with all Commonwealth states, but the judge often says in the Commonwealth instead of in the state of Kentucky. Like, so in Michigan, they'll say in the state of Michigan, this is true. But this judge likes to say in the Commonwealth. He doesn't even say the Commonwealth of Kentucky. He'll just say in the Commonwealth, in the great Commonwealth. But this is Kentucky. This is in Cumberland, Kentucky, I believe. I believe Cumberland. It's been a while since I've looked up where this judge is, but Cumberland sounds right, which is the eastern part of Kentucky. Again, just guessing. I haven't covered this judge in a few months, so I'm trying to recall. But yeah, it's Kentucky. I know it's Kentucky. That part I know. I believe it's Cumberland, and I also believe Cumberland is eastern Kentucky. Okay, let's go.
Saying, Mr. Hunley, if you're just going to.
Well, yeah, I do
Because I
understand
don't-
what you're saying, Judge.
I don't know what the 404B, when you bring something up, you need to file some sort of a motion in limine or something. I can't rule on what he can get in or get out if I don't have a motion in limine.
The problem with that is, Judge, I didn't give the information until late Tuesday evening.
Now, come on, Johnny.
I mean, I've got it.
You've had that from the day this thing was filed, and you know you have.
Well, let me tell you what you can do. Wait just a second. Tell you what you can do. You can file a motion in limine if you have something you feel very strongly about. And what day is the trial scheduled?
It's Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday. Well, I've got, till noon tomorrow. Take a look at it, and by noon tomorrow, I'll take a look at anything. And if I need to, I'll get y'all back on the phone. At least I'll know what we're looking at when we come here on Tuesday. Is that fair enough to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Be free to go.
Yes, absolutely. Brian Hunt.
All right, let's get out of Kentucky. Let's get out of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. Let me catch up on some of these super chats. I know you guys wanted me to pause it, and it was fun, but I saw Allie's message, and like, yeah, I was pausing a lot, so I liked it. I like the super chats coming in, but at the same time, I don't want to annoy people. So, also, Fletcher, I already thanked you. Legal fiction. When you said this, I was scrolling back. I was like, where? And I can go to a tab that just shows the super chats. I'm like, there's not one here. Did I accidentally delete it from this? Like, how did this happen? I don't understand. And I started questioning myself, not just to find out while I'm doing that. You did that. You did. Thank you, Legal Fiction, for totally mind fucking me. I appreciate it. It was funny. It was funny. I was laughing at it. So thank you. Sparkle Poots, way too much pauses going on here. I agree, which is why I stopped. Jay from Michigan, wait, there's a court case going. No, there wasn't. That was something going on in the Commonwealth. I don't know if that was considered court. I don't know. We're having fun though. But thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. And Lexa, please do not pause. Just wanted to make you smile. And you did. You accomplished that. Thank you so much, Lexa. I appreciate it. All right. Let's leave the Commonwealth. What's next? Is Judge Boyd next? I think we're going to Texas now. We are going to Texas. What state you're from, Jay? I don't know what state you're from. I know where you live, obviously, Jay from Michigan, but I don't know what state you're from. I'm trying to remember. Did you tell me at some point? Because I would just guess Michigan. But I don't know. I feel like that's a trap question, and that you're not actually from Michigan. You just spent a lot of time there, and that's where you live now. So that's gonna be my guess. So I'm just gonna guess Michigan. I'm gonna not take it as a trap question. I'm gonna say Michigan. But Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, this guy and his attorney. This one's kind of frustrating, and I know Time Served likes to cover Judge Boyd. So I was actually not going to play this because I figured he was going to, and I didn't want to cross cover, but he didn't play it. So let's go.
All right, everyone, please have a seat. If you're not on this case, court is calling 2021 CR 7016, State of Texas versus Jose Lozano. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Randy Martinez for Mr. Lozano.
And are you Mr. Lozano? All right, we are here for sentencing. A jury found you guilty. Just one moment. And they found you guilty of the offense of.
Allie, that's not what I was saying. I do pause a lot, and I like the running joke that the community has, but to be honest, everyone that watches these videos after the live do not like all the pauses. Even though we all have fun with it, and I don't really care, I do try to do a healthy balance of kind of having fun with it and then, letting videos play. So, Allie, no problem. You are good. You are good.
Theft, $300,000 or more is charged in the indictment. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State.
We have, Your Honor.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any corrections or additions to the PSI report? State.
No, Your Honor.
Defense.
No, Your Honor.
All right. State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking that you sentence the defendant to 15 years in the prison.
All right. And the reason?
Your Honor, the defendant was convicted of a first-degree felony offense in this case. Reading the TAP evaluation, he's shown no remorse for his actions. He doesn't say this was the result of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol. His story about how he says this happens is just not credible. It doesn't jive with the evidence that we saw at trial. He says that someone offered to sell him $300 worth of items, over $300 worth of items for $600 to $800. He says his friend brought the trailer to him. The evidence that was elicited at trial indicated that a window of the truck was broken. It's pretty clear to me that he knew these items were, the very least he knew these items were stolen. But Your Honor, what he's convicted of is theft.
He can only take pleas from certain crimes. So when he takes a plea deal, he's not necessarily the sentencing judge. So he can't sentence above. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Judge Slavin explained this to me. He is a district court judge, so he can accept plea deals, but he can't sentence. I want to say felonies, maybe, or higher misdemeanors that a actual circuit court has to do that a district court can't. Okay, I might have mixed that up, but I have asked him that before. I've asked Judge Slavin the difference between circuit and district court. So when Judge Simpson says, for your understanding, I'm not going to be your sentencing judge, so and so is, I believe that's why. Now I feel like I totally messed that up. Hopefully I'm close. So I'm sure someone knows, but hopefully I'm close.
And I guess the other part of this, the TAP evaluation, they talked about his home life a little bit. He says he has regular contact with all his kids, but evidence elicited at the trial was he's not paying any kind of child support to Edith Serrano. That was one of the victims, you may recall, Your Honor. Or I'm sorry, one of the witnesses at the trial, Your Honor. I know you were presided over this case, Judge, so you remember the testimony, but Terry Kirkbride and his wife are moving from California to Florida, and they lost almost everything as a result of this theft, Your Honor. But what Terry said on the stand is what really stuck with me. And what he said is the hardest part about this is that he lost things in this theft as a result of this theft, as a result of the actions of the defendant that cannot be replaced. So the hardest part of that for him were the photos that are just gone forever. The things that he inherited, the things that his wife inherited, they're gone forever. Items from his military career that are gone forever, damaged or lost. And so that's what I want to emphasize to the court. And the other part of the thing I want to emphasize to the court, Your Honor, is we're asking for this sentence to protect the community from these types of thefts. This property crime, I think, especially folks who are involved in the criminal justice system, we can get sort of jaded and think, well, nobody died, right? But these crimes are very serious, and this is the victims in this case lost nearly everything that they own. And so, Your Honor, we're asking that you protect the community from these types of crimes and sentence the defendant to 15 years in prison.
All right, defense.
Judge, if the court recalls the facts of the case, I think Mr. Lozano's explanation is perfectly plausible. There was absolutely no evidence presented by the state in the trial of the case that he was present when that truck was stolen.
Yeah, legal fiction. I don't think that's how that saying goes. I really don't. I don't think it's something stolen. That'd be hilarious. Something borrowed, something old, and something stolen. Let's go.
Whether he ever drove that truck, ever had contact with that truck, it was ever on his property. His suggestion that the guy brought the trailer to him to see if he wanted to buy it is consistent with somebody who did steal that property, trying to go and pawn it off on people. Him paying $600 or $800 for what was the contents is because all the valuables were already gone. All that was left was a bunch of stuff that after whoever stole it poured through it. He admitted, yes, my print is on the trailer because he showed it to me, and he wanted more money than I could afford, and so I didn't buy it. He offered me the other things that were there. The complainant specifically testified in his testimony, the things that were at Mr. Lozano's property that they recovered were of little or no value, right? If you look at the PSI report, when they go to the restitution, it says approximately $300,000. How can you approximate that when he's already been found guilty by a jury? Well, this court knows why. It's because her math was a mess. The complainant testified in the trial of the case that he agreed in writing a contractual agreement with the insurance company to settle for $240,000. The theft statute is very, very clear. It's the value of the property at the time it's stolen, not what you paid for it years before. So when you read their exhibits, and the jury obviously never did, they put no attention to the real evidence in the case. They felt bad for the complainants. I feel bad. We all do. They suffered a great loss, but they didn't prove he was the one who did it. They proved that he was a party to being in possession of some of the stolen property. That's why we had a jury charge all the way down to a state jail. That was the appropriate charge. This case is ripe and full of appeal issues, especially on the issue of the value and sufficiency of evidence. This case does not merit a day in prison. I get it. It's a big loss. But if you look at the exhibits, and I was going to bring it to you, but it's in the court's file or court board's file. USA went through an entire exhaustive list, and he says I spent months and I kept updating it, telling them all the things that I lost. They put the retail value, they depreciated it down to the actual cash value at the time of the loss, right? He signs an agreement, accepts the check saying $240,000. And that included the truck.
All right, so just so parties know, I'm not going behind the jury's verdict.
I'm not asking you to,
Yeah, all
I'm just saying the punishment should fit the crime. The jury did what they did, and that's for another.
The punishment should fit the crime. That was a good question. Was it Nick? I'm sorry. I think Nick asked. 15 years. Prosecution's asking for 15 years. This is a sentencing. The jury already found him guilty. So this is just a sentencing. Prosecution's asking for 15. Defense is saying not 1 day. So he was found guilty of. So the exact amount was $240,000. Now they keep throwing around $300,000. I'm guessing that's what he was charged with. But the money that the insurance company paid back to this family was $240,000. And the actual details are kind of gray because we're not watching the trial, right? We're just watching the sentencing. But it sounds like he bought stolen property, and that's how he was in possession of it, and that's what he was charged with, was buying. I don't know if he sold it and made money off it. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, 15 years. It's a lot of money. But how long would it take you to pay back $240,000? I don't think it would take 15 years. It might actually. Anyways, all right, let's keep going. I'm talking a lot. I'm rambling. You know what? Before I start playing again, we did get a super chat. Sly! Pause. Nick Jones in the house. Who? Nick Jones. Nick Jones. Who? Nick Jones. Nick Jones. What's up, Nick? I already knew you were here. Sly's just a little late. But thank you, Sly. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat.
Court to look at whether there was sufficient evidence for their verdict. But my suggestion is, if they've proven that my guy drove off with the truck and the trailer and he had gotten rid of everything, I can see that this is a different case. There's absolutely no evidence that was presented to suggest that. And his explanation fits squarely within the facts that were presented in this case. So I get it that there's restitution. My client is going to have a lifetime consequence because of his resident status of potentially being excluded from this country. So he is going to get punished severely by this court and probably another one. So all that being said, Judge, we'd ask the court to sentence him to a term of probation. We'll pay restitution to their number as best he can, as long as he can. But that's the appropriate sentence. If we're going to start locking up every person who goes to a flea market and those people that come into property illegally and they get it in their possession, we're going to start sending them all to prison. We don't have a big enough jail for that, Judge.
All right. Is there anything you wish to say?
Yes.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jose Lozano.
All right, and make sure you keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear. Who's the name of the friend that gave you these items?
Who's the name? I don't know his name. They called him.
Well, I mean, you say he's your friend,
Well, yeah, but
and you say you received a phone call from a friend.
yes, there's. Should have wrote it down.
All right, so here's my other question. The items, because there were some items that were related to his military career. When you saw the name of a person's name on military paperwork, what did you think?
At the point already, I had the stuff in my house. I didn't know what to do with it, didn't know where it was there. I bought it. It was in boxes when I bought it. By the time I got to open it, I saw the stuff.
So how much money did you pay for this stuff?
About 800, whatever was in the trailer, when I got it off, about $800 and $900.
Did you look through everything before you paid 800 or 900?
Boxes.
So you just take a boxes sight unseen, sort of like Storage Wars?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And so you don't know your friend's name who phoned you. According to you, it says that you were home asleep on this date and you received a phone call from a friend.
They call him Chaparro, but I, out of the top of my head, I can't remember his name right now. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, no problem.
All right. So he doesn't want to snitch on his friend, and I'm not going to hate on him for that. The judge is asking you though, and you promise to tell the truth, and I think you're lying. You're not going to give some random person $800 for what you know is stolen property that you don't know. You're just not going to. But that's why you just say a nickname. Like, oh, I call him Tiny. Like, that's what I know him. He's in my phone as Tiny. Like, that's what I know him as. There's ways to get around that. Just saying. Hashtag not a lawyer. Hashtag not legal advice. Do not take my advice on lying to a judge. Do not lie to a judge. Shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay, let's go before I get myself in more trouble.
I just wanted that cleared up. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. With regards to the amount, the court does not deal in approximations. So for the court, there is no restitution because there is nothing here to suggest a restitution amount. It just says approximately $300,000. There's nothing I can do with that. And this trial was on March 21st. I'm sorry, just one moment. Yes, March 2024. So by that time, there should have been some amount to the court. So I'll give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing, State?
Judge, is the defendant's birthday May 1st, 1998? Is that right?
You can ask him.
Okay. Is that your birthday, sir? May 1st, 1998?
Yeah.
And Judge, would you incorporate the evidence at trial as to the value? Would that be something you'd be willing to do?
No, because again, the amount that's listed in the PSI report is approximately $300,000. And then defense counsel is correct with the amount that the complainant settled for. And I know how insurance companies do sometimes.
Probably
The amount, yeah, the amount the insurance company settled for was $240,000. So this is where we are.
If I could, just one last thing on the record. I just wanted the court to be aware, the record to be clear, that approximation comes from the complainant. The PSI officer called the complainant to ask him that number, and that was his response,
Yes.
even after his testimony that was presented to the court.
I'm not ordering restitution unless there is some sort of deductible, which the court has not received any information on a deductible amount. So the court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor, we just have victim impact fees.
I do, Judge.
Yes.
We will be following those.
Yeah. Judge Boyd made a mistake right here, and Judge Boyd doesn't really make mistakes, so she probably didn't. I don't know. She was probably kind of frustrated over this whole case. This dude stole, or sorry, he didn't steal. He purchased stolen items. That's still stealing. You know that stuff was stolen. He knew it was stolen. The victim impact statements are supposed to happen before sentencing, not after sentencing. So she sentenced him for 6 years. Sentencing over with. So now this couple and this your guys, I don't know. It's a sad story. It's a sad story. But here's the victims.
Appeal and request for an appeal bond. Do you want to take that up today? Or
Oh, you have to file you'll have to file the motion and the court will take that up. So if you could have him fill out the trial court certification.
Well, they're going to be filed today. That's why I'm asking if he could be kept in court today so we could address it. Or do you want us to set another
It's
hearing?
going to have to be another date. All right. If you could have him do the trial court certification, so I could do that now, please.
Is that seriously? Is that how she does it? That's interesting. What? And I'm going to say this with all due respect to Judge Boyd, because I love Judge Boyd. I love watching her. I respect her. But what is the point of a victim impact statement if it's after sentencing? Oh, that's how they do it in Texas. Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't know that. Okay, that makes sense if it's a Texas thing, but why? Because what's the point? If your victim impact statement doesn't go into the judge's mind before sentencing, then it's all it is punishment for the defendant. He has to sit there and listen to what he did. And the defendant doesn't have to listen to it. So I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But if it's how Texas does it, it's how Texas does it. You know? Texas is a different world than I'm used to though. So but yeah, I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm not gonna hate on it, but it doesn't make sense to me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
I will take back that I said that she made a mistake though. Because if that's how they do it in Texas, she didn't make a mistake. I thought I caught her the one time she ever made a mistake on the bench. I was wrong. So I will take that back. Keep up the good work, Judge Boyd. Oh, I'm skipping ahead. I don't think this takes too long.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, you have a right to an appeal as this was a jury trial. And counsel, once you file that motion, Ms. Ferguson will give you a date. All right, you said there's impact, brief impact.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are the parties here on Lozano? If you could start your video, please. Who is going to be the person?
It's Terry Kirkbride, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Kirkbride?
Yes.
All right. I wasn't going to pause it again before, but I'm glad you said that right before the victim impact statement came in. Timeline, you're absolutely right. The victim impact statement in that case changed that. Well, the sentencing ended up being close to what he would have got originally because he didn't go to jail. But it pushed it out and it caused Judge Simpson to think about a lot of things. And that's what I think victim impact statements should do. Now, in that case, I think that was a little extreme because the victim impact statement almost started a whole new investigation, which I don't agree with. I think it just should be a statement. You're done. You tell the judge, this is what happened, and the judge puts that in their mind for when they're sentencing, and then that's it. But the Judge Simpson, that case was a little bit extreme to me. But yeah, I still don't understand doing it after the sentencing. But hey, you know what? I do understand what you guys are saying, how it makes the judge impartial. I get that, but it just, again, I'm going to go back to the point where it's almost irrelevant, the victim impact statements at that point. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let the victims talk, and I'm not gonna pause it during this. So no super chats during this, or if you do, I don't care if you do, but I'm not gonna pause it.
All right, you may begin with your impact statement.
Okay, I had no idea what to expect in this matter, but I see the sentencing's already been done. I'll just try to keep it short. I think the court's already heard most of our story, but I'll just go down the quick history. I mean, when we made our decision to move to Florida, it was to be near kids and grandkids. It was a pretty tough decision. I lived in California all my life up to that point. Sold our home, gave away pretty much all of our possessions that could be replaced, like furniture, refrigerators, that type of thing. All of our most precious items were packed up very carefully. It took us almost 3 months to get everything properly packed and wrapped. And I bought a 24-foot enclosed trailer, and that's where we packed everything in. On our journey to our joyous move to Florida to start a new life, we made it as far as San Antonio. And of course, from that moment forward, December 4th forward, it's just like our world was turned upside down. It derailed our whole joy of the move. And what was supposed to be looking for a home right away turned into almost an 8-month endeavor because we were dealing with all of the aftermath of the theft. I'm a combat veteran. One of my diagnoses is PTSD. So I was already dealing with that. And then this just totally derailed me and my wife and left us kind of in this state of like, what next? As we put the pieces together, keep in mind, it was 3 years, 3 months from the time of the theft to the time of the trial. And they had some 22, 23 resets. Each one of those resets represented to us is we had to juggle our lives around the schedule of the court. We gave up family vacations, gave up visiting sick family members. We did a lot of things during those 3.5 years, 3 years, 3 months that just kept this thing going. And now we're here at the final part of the sentencing and all that. And I feel for both sides. I feel for Mr. Lozano and how this must be for him. But I also got to understand what it was like for us. These weren't just things that you go to the store and buy. This was our life. My wife is a Native American Studies. She had all of her research that was in those boxes that are gone, all of my VA records, all of our photographs of our family from the past, videos of the kids, all those things that cannot be replaced, along with all my military accolades that are gone. The impact was great. And I am glad that we're finally at a point for us anyways, where we can just kind of turn the page. I think that's enough said.
All right, thank you. And Deputy, you can take him into custody.
Oh, I don't have. Okay, there's another part of that. Wait, maybe I did. And maybe I did. I was reading the chat. I might have missed it when the defense attorney was asking, when he can do his appeal bond hearing, and he was trying to demand that the defendant was released today. He's like, I want to do this right now. I've already got the paperwork filled out. I want to do this right now. Was that in that video or did I accidentally delete it? Did you guys see that? Oh, I really hope that was in there. I'm waiting to see. I mean, I can't do anything about it now. I just played it. But the defense attorney pulled another card out of his sleeve and tried to demand the guy be released from jail today for a appeal bond hearing, which, for the record, is what Chili's attorney tried to do. Chili had, the appeal, like, put him on bond while the appeal is going on. You're saying nope, Sandy. Does that mean I didn't have it in there? All right. Well, I'm sorry. The defense attorney came back and yeah, he's like, I've already got my appeal motion here. I want to. Oh, okay. All right. It was there. Okay. Good. All right. Then sorry for my rambling. Am I caught up? I am caught up on super chats. Okay. Next case, we're going back to Michigan. This is the last case. It's a little bit longer. It's nowhere near as deep as that last one, but this woman's interesting.
Amanda Wheeler. People of the state of Michigan versus Amanda Wheeler. I have file numbers 24-00150. I also have 24-01142. Council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Amanda Wheeler.
Amanda Wheeler.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Wheeler, I have two separate files for you. File number ending in 142. Have a felony complaint that alleges that on or about April 16, 2024 at 560 Norman Street, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you allegedly, contrary to law, committed the act in count 1 of weapons carrying concealed. The allegations, ma'am, are that you did carry a dangerous weapon, that being a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise, in a vehicle operated or occupied by said defendant, that vehicle being a Chevrolet Silverado, contrary to MCL 750.227. Count 1 is a felony with the maximum penalty, 5 years in prison or $2,500 in fines. There's a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device required under the law. File number ending. Oh, wait a minute. What's this file? Oh, we'll do that one later. Do you understand the charge in that matter and the maximum penalty?
I don't agree with that because you don't want the victim impact statements to affect the jury. That shouldn't be okay. So when you're saying after closing, I'm guessing after closing arguments. before the jury goes back to deliberate. That's what I'm assuming you're saying. I don't think that, because the victims could be partial and say like he did it, and you don't want that. You don't want that messing with the court. So if that's what you're saying, I don't agree with that, but I do think it should be done before sentencing. I do. I understand why Texas does it. The logic makes sense. I just don't agree with it. That's my point.
Can you repeat it because there was a delay?
Nice.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Lee's going to represent you today for your arraignment. If you'd like to have counsel appointed at the expense of the public, you have the right to make a request for that appointment if you can't afford to hire an attorney. You understand your right to counsel? Again, we can't hear you.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
My voice went away.
Yeah, there's always somewhat of a delay because it is being broadcasted virtually. So if your voice is low, it won't pick it up, okay?
Okay, is that better?
That's better, thank you. Okay, you have the right in this matter to have a preliminary examination because you're being charged with a felony. You have the right to have the preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date. You have the right to require the prosecutor put forth sufficient evidence that would establish that they have probable cause that a crime was committed and then probable cause sufficient to charge you with the crime of carrying a concealed weapon. That 21-day timeline is yours by right unless you waive that timeline or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward. It's going to be April 26th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Preliminary examination will be before Judge Ward May 3rd, 2024 at 9:30 in the morning. You must appear in person for the preliminary examination. Did you get your notice to appear for Judge Ward for your probable cause conference and your preliminary examination?
I did not. I didn't get it, anything to the mail. So I was confused on the date and I had.
I'm sorry, you would have gotten that today in the jail.
Yes.
Okay, and it's for those dates that I just read?
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good. And you understand your right to have a probable cause conference and a preliminary examination, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, in this matter, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute, but if you stand mute, the matter will go all the way through to a jury trial. You have the right to a jury trial, and you have the right to the presumption of innocence at your trial. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of the charge of carrying a concealed weapon beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront in court any of your accusers and cross-examine them. You have the right to testify on your own behalf, or you can invoke your right to silence and not have silence be used against you at your trial. You also have the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf at your trial or present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. Do you have any questions about those rights? Is she requesting court-appointed counsel, Mr. Lee?
Yes, she is, Your Honor.
The court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. What's your home address?
560 Norman Street, Lansing, Michigan, 48910.
560
Oh.
what?
Oh man. I'm gonna have to go back and hold on. I'm hitting all sorts of buttons. I'm gonna have to go back and take that out. I didn't mean to keep that in there. Good thing the judge didn't hear it before I muted. Anyways, people don't invoke their right to silence. That's what I was pausing to comment on. I wasn't paying enough attention to the video. You're right. Arraignments are when the defendant will say, like, I want the defense counsel, or when they don't. So they come into this without a defense counsel. Some courts will pre-screen them and give them defense counsel before when it's a public defender. Not all courts do. But this is the point where you say you want one. And yeah, arraignments are generally, some states call them first appearances. First appearances on arraignments are generally when the defendants talk the most. Then after they get counsel, they don't. That's why arraignments are generally more entertaining than the rest of the court trial, than the court process, because the defendants talk a lot.
Are you employed?
No, I'm not.
What's your phone number?
517-215-8383.
I might have to remove this. I'm gonna get in trouble. Man, I am not paying attention.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
I'm awaiting sentencing, and my next court date for that is on 6/13/2024. And I already took a.
Excuse me?
I already took a plea with that. We're just waiting, I'm waiting sentencing so I can plead to that.
Okay. Have you ever missed court in the past?
One time, and I've only been to court here in Michigan one time, I believe. It was a miscommunication.
All right, I want to say this, Ali, and I've tried to ignore these comments throughout the video, but this is like the second or third one. I get it. You said earlier that you were going to go to Law Talk with Mike when he came up, and yeah, like we all love Law Talk with Mike. Dick Bag Patrol, he has a good channel too. But coming in here and saying that, it's hurtful. It really is. Like, you're telling me that, hey, I'm only hanging out with you because my favorite YouTubers aren't there. Like, just think about what you're saying. Just for my sake, just please. I tried to ignore it, but I just want you to understand that those kind of comments do hit me. So just so you're aware, I'm not offended, but yeah, and you're probably gone already, so you probably aren't hearing me say this, but just so you know.
I didn't get the paper in the mail, and I had relapsed, and my rehab was coming to come get me.
You didn't get the paper in the mail, and what happened?
So I was confused about the dates. I had reported to the probation officer, and he never got back a hold of me until after the court date.
Why would the probation officer need to get back in touch with you?
Because I was confused about the dates, because I didn't.
Okay, so you were confused about the date. What did you do to get clarity about that confusion?
I called him, and then that was all I did. I didn't know to do anything else.
Okay.
I tried calling.
So you were before the court back on February 2nd, 2024, in file number 24-00150. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Judge Ward took a plea from you.
Yes.
Is that correct?
We haven't sentenced.
Answer my questions. Answer my questions and stop trying to tell me what you want me to believe, okay? I'm going to determine what I believe, not what you want me to believe, okay? Judge Ward gave you your court date that day, didn't she? I don't hear head nods.
Yes.
Okay. What was the confusion?
I lost the papers I got from the jail, and I didn't know where anything was, because I was in between going from my grandma's to my mom, because my mom has cancer, so I take care of her.
Okay. So I don't know why you keep saying you lost the papers from the jail. You were given the date and the time from Judge Ward. And if you lost the paperwork with that date and time, did you call Judge Ward's courtroom to find out what the date was?
No, I did not.
Okay, so then you didn't make any reasonable effort to find out what your court date was?
Okay, no, I guess not.
Is that correct? Do you have an attorney? Do you have an attorney on that matter?
I don't know. I don't know if I do or if I don't. See, I talked to somebody in the jail, and that was it. And then
You took a plea and you didn't have an attorney that appeared on your behalf?
I had an attorney in the courtroom, but I didn't know if he was like assigned to me or.
You requested court-appointed counsel on that matter?
Yes, I believe so.
You appeared for a probable cause conference and you were represented by Mr. Etheridge, were you not?
Yeah, by two different people. This one showed up at the next court hearing, and one was at the first one.
Okay, so you recognize you had two separate attorneys appear for you then, correct?
Yes,
Did you call the public defender's office to find out what your court date was since they were representing you?
yes, I did. I did call and leave them a message. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, because you just told me you wasn't sure if you had an attorney or not.
Well, I called, that's what my, the secretary probation officer told me to do, was call the public defender's office and try and get a hold of them. Cause I couldn't get a hold of.
Your matter's reset to go before Judge Ward for sentencing June 13th at 8:30. And you must appear in person.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. For for everyone that doesn't know, when the actual YouTube screen pops up and it's pausing, because I have earbuds in and because my ears are deformed. For everyone who doesn't know, I am 100% deaf in one ear. It's been reconstructed, so my earbud doesn't fit in my ear and it constantly falls out. So when you see this, it's because my earbud's falling out and I'm pushing it back in my ear and it pauses the screen. And I'm not always sitting in front of my computer, so I don't even realize it's paused sometimes. So that's what's going on when you see that, YouTube actually pausing. But while I'm paused, let's go through some of these super chats. Cause I love you. Tell no one. Sparkle Boots, I won't tell anyone. I promise. Your secret is safe with me. And I love you too. Michelle Eaton, we love Colin. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. I appreciate it. And Crazy Cat chose my channel. Thank you so much. Member for 3 months. I wasn't trying to earn sympathy. I really wasn't. I was just trying to call out Allie. That's all I was trying to do. It just those comments, and I see them all the time, and it's fine. It's just it's just like just think about the person that you're watching. I'm doing this too, and both those people that she called out have great channels, and I understand that. It's just unintentionally belittling. Let's just call it that. And I know it wasn't intentional. And if she sees this, I'm not upset. Don't worry. It just you feel it though. All right, let's keep going.
Counsel, you can address the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. In regard to Miss Wheeler's criminal history, she has a limited criminal history. The charge she just recently pled to and a driving while license suspended in 2020. She is a lifelong resident here of Lansing, Michigan. And we hope, as well as the court does, I'm sure, that she understands the importance of her attending her court dates, especially after the court's admonishment. We leave it in the court's discretion as to what sort of bond the court wants to set in this matter.
Can I get our bond back? Or how does that work?
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Nothing.
I can't hear you. Are you talking to me?
No, I was never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was trying to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. I don't think she gets a PR though. I don't remember. but I'm gonna guess that she doesn't because I feel like she throws a little tantrum here shortly. And I'm not gonna say that's a spoiler because I honestly don't remember.
Did you meet with someone from pretrial services today?
And I met with one person, that was it.
Do you know who
No,
you met with? It wasn't
no.
pretrial services?
And no. I don't believe so.
I am going to give Annalisa Molina a pause because I love saying that name. Annalisa Molina. Come on. If you say it out loud, you will understand that it's fun to say. It really is. It's like my daughter's name, Mariella. It's fun to say. Annalisa Molina. It's good.
Okay.
I can meet with
think,
pretrial services, okay?
well, no, I have a report. It was dated for today. It indicated that they attempted to meet with you for your pre-trial interview, and that you fell asleep during the questioning.
Oh, no, that wasn't me. No, that was not me.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have 5 boys.
If your grandmother's name is Darlene?
Yep.
Okay, it was you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It was you. You don't remember meeting with pretrial services today?
No, not this morning, no. I've been in jail all night long. I've been in jail.
All night long. Oh, this is when this gets good. Now I remember what's going on. Yeah, she was meeting with the pretrial services to get set up with everything, probation, her legal, her attorney, and she fell asleep. Like I don't remember it. No, I didn't. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. If I don't remember it, it never happened. There we go. There's my legal defense. It didn't happen.
I recognize you were in jail. That's why they were meeting with you. Nonetheless, I do have a concern about her confusion. She seems to be a little bit confused about why she missed her other court date or what her responsibilities were as it relates to that. She doesn't even remember meeting with pretrial services, but they indicated that she fell asleep while they were questioning her about her employment, so they weren't able to complete the report and give a bond recommendation. But there is a bond recommendation from the prosecutor's office. Indicates that the defendant is currently on parole, probation, or has another pending criminal matter. The crime charged in this new case involves the use or possession of a firearm. Other factors that are that the prosecution wants the court to consider as an escalation of violence or risk taking over time. The people are requesting a $20,000 cash surety bond with GPS tether to minimize flight risk. Defendant is on bond before this court, 54A District Court, and failed to appear for a sentencing. While the charge before the court today does not include any assaultive or threatening nature, the allegations include defendant having recently threatened family members who reported that she possessed guns and often sells drugs. She's already out on bond when allegedly having committed the actions, now bringing her before the court for an arraignment. Considering the factors indicated or brought forth by the prosecution's bond recommendation, the court does believe that it's inappropriate to issue a bond in the personal recognizance, so that will be denied. Bond in this matter will be set in the amount of $10,000 cash surety. While out on bond, you have the following bond conditions. You're not to use, purchase, or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol unless you have a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You need to report to all of your court dates and report on time, and you need to report to pretrial services. Within 48 hours of your release, you can get contact information from the jail as to how you make your report for that. Do you have any questions about your bond?
Oh, she's got some questions. I remember she throws a little tantrum and then just like storms away. Like that's gonna matter. I'm walking away from you, Judge. And yeah, your bond's already set. You're gonna be sitting in jail for a while. All right, there's only about a minute or two left for this, so I'm gonna let it play out. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the membership milestones and the gifted memberships. You guys are all awesome for being here. If you haven't done it already, please hit the like button. It really does help. Really helps the video get out. So I would appreciate it. And yeah, let's go hang out on Discord after this. Let's go. All right. Tomorrow's Friday. One day left of the week. We got this. We got this. All right. Don't do anything dumb. I will cover you in court. Until next time. Bye.
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
Actually, let me see something. I need to issue a bond on the file number 24-00150 that she needs to see Judge Ward on.
So I do have a question. So does that mean I have to say?
Give me a moment. Bond in file number 2.
Thank you, Legal Fiction. You have a good night too. I know you didn't tell me to pause it, but I knew that's what you meant. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your guys' support. This is I have a lot of fun doing this. You guys are all awesome.
4-00150 is set at 5,010%. Okay, do you have a question now?
So does that mean I have to sit in jail until June?
Absolutely not. I gave you, does not mean that. You have bonds on both of those. It means you have to post the bonds before you can be released.
And if I can't post a bond, to stay in court until June 30th?
If you can't post a bond, then you get to sit there, but that's not the court. The court doesn't place the bond, so you have the ability to be released. You just have to post the bond, and that's considering the factors that the court put on the record. You have another matter pending that you have failed to appear in court on. You have another matter pending which bond conditions would have required you not to be in possession of a firearm. Now there's allegations that while that matter was pending and after you missed court, you were in possession of a firearm, and that these firearms were discovered after an investigation was launched.
All right. I'm going to pause this for a second because I think I own the exact same shirt she owns, and I'm going to go grab it and I'm going to turn my camera on. So it's going to be paused for about 30 seconds. So I want you guys to let me know, is it the exact same shirt? Because it's been bothering me since this came up. Yeah, so sorry, you guys just have to wait a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm not buttoning it up or anything. I just want you to see. I need to know, is it the same shirt or not? Let's see. Camera on. All right, what do you guys think? Because I think it is. I mean, at least the same pattern. But this is a men's dress shirt, though. It's not, a casual wear shirt. This is a shirt that you would wear a tie with. So I think it's a little strange, but who knows? Who knows? But it looks exactly the same, and that I cannot take my eyes off of it. All right, I'm gonna let this play out now. You guys are all awesome. Have a great night. Let's go hang out on Discord. Until next time. Bye.
launched due to calls of a family friend or otherwise individual reporting that you had threatened to use a firearm against them. And so for those reasons, and of course, the court had concerns about your responses as it relates to you falling asleep during the interview today. You don't even remember talking to the pretrial service person while in the custody of jail. But, okay, you're cutting me off, so you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.